everyone, and welcome to National Treasure Hunt, the podcast where the secret lies not only with Charlotte, but also with your co hosts. I'm Aubrey,
And I'm Emily.
and today we are building the definitive National Treasure playlist.
Yo, music, national treasure, let's go.
Well, I'm a little surprised this episode wasn't your idea.
That's true. I'll tell you about the challenges I faced in prepping for the episode.
Mm. I have a feeling I know what at least some of them are going to be. But this idea came from the listeners. I think that's the theme of season 12, at least so far. And so we hope you enjoy it. Spoiler alert, if all goes as planned, you will be able to go to the show notes of this episode wherever you are listening or watching, and you will be able to listen to the playlist we discuss putting together here today. So that's completely on Emily. If that doesn't exist in the show notes, it's her fault.
Yay.
Okay, but we obviously have many things to do before we dive in. You know, our typical business. We got to start with our screams from Parkington Lane. All right, Emily, there's a little something different about your background today. Could that have anything to do with your scream?
Oh my gosh. My hands, my shoulders hurt so much. Yeah, for those of you that can't see, I was holding up a small flag behind me to make it look like my background. I actually found it down here, but it is a Philadelphia Union mini flag, I guess you could say, that is red, white, and blue. I'm assuming for the US men's team or something. I don't know. Um, but as a reminder, Union plus Philadelphia plus red, white, and blue plus the little snake dude.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that is many screams in one.
Okay, so the connotation is national treasure. That's fine. I'll allow it.
Thank you. I feel like you allowing that means that you have a dream to share that is going to annoy me.
So you should allow it. Yeah, well, just for that comment, I will tell you about a dream in my little list of screams here. And the good news for you is I had this dream so long ago that I'm not going to be able to elaborate based on the one sentence that I give you because I do not remember it anymore.
Okay.
So I had a dream that you and I, Emily, were producers of a National Treasure themed reality TV show.
Not in a million years, but okay.
Come on, that would be so fun.
Nope. I don't
I
like
d- oh,
reality TV.
you wouldn't be doing the show. You'd be making the show. Emily is so close-minded, y'all. The number of times I usually have to pitch an idea to her for National Treasure Hunt for her to actually get on board is way too high.
Okay, well, this will never happen with me involved, so.
All right, more for me, I guess. So those are our screams from Parkington Lane. Let's next do a quick look back to the National Treasure Hunt archive in case you're new here and totally overwhelmed by our back catalog of getting very close to 200 episodes. So today we are looking back at episode 14, Hunt for Parallels. Before I even remind you, Emily, of what the description of this episode was, do you know what it is based on the title?
Were we comparing characters between the first and second films?
Close. We were just comparing the first and second films.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Um, do you I'm guessing based on that, you don't remember anything from this episode.
I feel like we compared some of the characters. Probably like Ian and Mitch, if I had to
Mm-hmm.
guess.
Mm-hmm. I'll admit this one's a little fuzzy for me as well, but I remember kind of big picture that this episode has given us so much fodder for things that we discussed later on. So when it comes to like breaking down scenes and things like that, I do have a memory of this being the first time, for example, that I personally noticed how parallel Ben in the like I don't know entryway of Buckingham Palace the interactions with the guards and with Abigail and everything, how parallel that was to his interactions with Abigail and Stan in the Archives Gala, with the earpiece and Riley being the voice in his head and also the voice of the audience making snarky comments. That was the first time I ever noticed that. And from there, it was like the floodgates opened because there was so much to talk about in terms of parallel motifs in these movies that I feel like is one of the reasons we have almost 200 episodes today.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
You're like, "I never thought about the parallel before, even though I was part of that episode."
You can read me very well. That is exactly what I was thinking. But if you remember that episode or don't, you can find us on social media. Um, First of all, please subscribe to our new National Treasure Hunt YouTube channel, where you can see all of the lovely faces that we make while recording. You can also find us on both X and Instagram at NT Hunt Podcast. We also are available at nthuntpodcast.com, where you can find info about our books, upcoming events, all that kind of stuff. And then our Patreon, patreon.com/nthuntpodcast, where you will have access to weekly memes that you will want to and can steal, unlike the Declaration of Independence.
Touche. Absolutely true. Um, Last piece of business, this is that time in our program where we tell you where you can come find us in person. Not that that's weird or anything. Because the first date of our America 250 events tour of 2026 is coming up in about a month when this episode is reaching your ears for the first time. So you can get your tickets to see me, Aubrey, give a classic National Treasure Hunt live interactive lecture at the Houston Museum of Natural Science in Houston, Texas on Wednesday, March 18th at 6:30 p.m. local time. I will be signing books there. Tickets are on sale now at hmns.org, or you could just go to the link in our show notes. And speaking of books, if you've been on our social media as of the time of this recording, you'll know that copies of my Riley Poole book are actually going out to people who pre-ordered even though the book wasn't supposed to come out for a few months. We're going to do an episode on that book a little bit later, but yeah, the link in our show notes is in our show notes for that book as well, and you should get a copy.
Definitely should get a copy. Help support Aubrey and all the hard work that she put in. And also, like, it's a book related to Riley, and Riley's the best character in the franchise, so
I mean, you said it, and I
uh-huh.
embodied him kind of for this book, so I at least have a new appreciation for him.
Okay,
Also,
Aubrey.
I was just gonna say, also, I'm not supposed to say that I embodied him because things. Uh, but now you heard it, so can't take it back now. Let's get into the episode, shall we?
We literally could take it back.
I'll let you know if I want you to cut it. Let's get into the episode, shall we? Okay, so we are going to, like I mentioned at the beginning, build a National Treasure playlist today. And right from the get go, do not at us. We know that you can go online and listen to the soundtrack of the National Treasure movies. And that could be your National Treasure playlist. That's not what we're doing here. Okay, have a little fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's my National Treasure playlist, but,
Well,
you know,
because
if
it's
you
had to be.
it's had to be. If you, I guess, wanna expand your horizons, this could be your new playlist.
Yes. And maybe it'll become Emily's as well. So, what we're going to do today is this is going to be one of our like pitch episodes where Emily and I go back and forth pitching basically like songs that you hopefully have a chance of having heard of, Emily. Um Emily who has a proclivity for like suggesting actors that no one's heard of before. Hopefully she doesn't do that with songs. And yeah, we're just gonna go back and forth. We'll each contribute 7 songs to this playlist. We're gonna discuss obviously why we picked those songs. And then we're going to end by discussing your submissions on Instagram because we did ask you guys a couple months ago if you were building a National Treasure playlist, what songs would you include? And you guys had some great responses. So we're going to react to them. Um, Before we start, Emily, let's talk about our methodology. Like, there's a lot of ways we could have approached picking our songs. What was what was your approach?
Um, I decided to embody different characters at different moments in their lives, either before or during the series of events in the films.
Okay. I like that. See, from my perspective, I also went with a character-based method here. I kind of figured I could go character-based or I could go situational, like assigning a song to something that happens in the plot. I chose to go character-based mostly because the plot version was really hard and I couldn't do it. I tried.
Yeah, this version was hard enough, honestly, for
Right?
me. So,
Okay, that was gonna be like my conclusion at the end, which was like, why was this so difficult?
mhm, mhm.
Okay. Well, Emily, because you are our resident musical expert and aficionado on National Treasure Hunt, I'm gonna let you start this like pitch process. What is your first song and who sings it?
Mm. Definitely is gonna be one that you've heard of. This I tried. This is, like, one of the only ones that I think is super out there.
Okay.
Um, so the song that I chose first is called Alamo, and it's sung by Alec Benjamin. Yes,
Um,
Aubrey.
to confirm, you didn't do this about Edge of History, did you?
I did not, but the thought was there.
Okay, explain. I have not heard this song before. What what gives you National Treasure vibes about it?
I wouldn't say National Treasure vibes. I would say angsty Ben vibes. Um, was really what I felt in this song. So, some of the lyrics that I felt were most applicable, I will just read them to you straight, I guess,
You're not
because
gonna
I'm not
sing them?
gonna sing. No. Um, Please give me a reason to believe all the lies, 'cause my teachers and the media are ghouls in disguise. Which I've always loved this line, but this is definitely how Ben feels about everyone in the professional community that disses his work on the treasure hunt,
Right.
and tries to tell him like it doesn't exist. So that was one. And then my second selection for this was I'm not going to give in. If I have to fight, then I'm willing to give my life, rather die, then lay down on my back. Got no white flag to throw. This is my Alamo. And so for this, I figured, Ben is really willing to give literally everything he
Yeah.
has for this treasure. Like, this is the hill that he has chosen to die on, if necessary, in
Right.
his life. And so it just felt very fitting.
It makes me wanna listen to the song, so I feel like this exercise is already working.
I don't think you're gonna like it, but yes.
Okay. What kind of song is it? Like, what genre?
I don't know. It's that weird, like, undefined genre that it's not like pop. I don't know.
Okay. Like, is it folksy? Is it like rap? Not rappy, you don't listen to
No.
rap,
Oh,
but like
there's like a little rap section. It's not rap. No, it's like
okay.
indie. I don't want to I don't know. People are going to come at me. I don't know what it is.
Oh, woof. Okay.
What is your first song, Aubrey?
Okay, well, I'm gonna preface this with I went sort of backwards in terms of how I felt about my rationale for the song. So I'm starting with the ones that I feel least strong about and getting to the ones that I feel really good about. So my first song is "Be Better Have My Money" by Rihanna.
Mm,
Do you
good
know the
song.
song? Yeah,
Yes,
you know
I'm
it.
familiar.
Yes, I am everyone's saving grace on these episodes. I hope you will know every song that I mention, at least if you're from our generation, because some of these are throwbacks to like our college era. Um this Can you guess, without looking at our note sheet, what character this would be tied to?
I already looked at our note sheet, Aubrey.
Oh, okay. Well, did you guess beforehand? Was it clear?
No.
Wait, are you lying?
Yes, of course I knew, Aubrey.
Okay. Well, since it's so obvious, I shouldn't even have to tell you that I chose this song to represent Ian. Um, to me, apparently it's very obvious. I did take this very literally in a lot of senses. I thought it would be funny and fun. But obviously, a key line for me here is "Be better have my money. Y'all should know me well enough." So I think of this as we know very little about Ian. We've dedicated whole episodes to our villain analyses before. And love him or hate him, we know a lot more about Mitch and his motivations than we do about Ian. All we know about him is that he has a lot of money and he insists on cashing in on his investment, right? Like he's already annoyed when it's not on the Charlotte. You know that initial scene where he's like, "I thought you said it's on the Charlotte." I said it could be, right? And he's annoyed. And so that honestly I feel like that's all I should have to say for this song, but I did pull out one
Yeah,
more lyric. Do you want to hear it?
okay. Sure.
It is "Please don't call me on my bluff."
Ooh, nice reference.
Thank you. So, of course, Ian has that perfect line that's delivered in New York outside of Trinity Church. You know, the key to running a convincing bluff, sometimes you've got to be holding all the cards. And there's just these general references to poker throughout the movie, and especially in the dynamic between our hero and our villain. This is a good example of most of the songs that I came up with. Once they once they got into my head as associated with a character, it was because of one line in the song, and then I could not get it out of my head. So, this was a pleasant surprise when I read this in the lyrics. So, let's move on to our second song choice. What you got for me?
Okay, so you might not know this one either, but this I feel like is fairly common. It's called World's Smallest Violin by AJR. I'm not really familiar with the singer.
See, I know AJR, I don't know the song.
Oh, okay, cool. So only know the song, literally the only song by them. So I decided to choose this as Sadusky. Kind of like you, I
Okay.
decided to go the funny route.
Okay.
And so you can probably see where this is going.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I picked out a couple lyrics. My first is, but I can't help myself from feeling bad because honestly, Sadusky just kind of, I feel like he feels bad for himself because he's not great at his job. I
You
don't know.
you think he has the self-awareness to know he's not great at his job?
In my head canon, yes. For the
Okay.
purposes of this. Um So then I also picked the lyric, "The world's smallest violin really needs an audience." And to me, this just kind of speaks to his general need to be seen. Whether it's being seen for what he's good at or just being seen for his authority. Like think about when he shuts down the gala. Um, he really wants people paying attention to him.
Right.
And then my final lyric here is, "So if I do not find somebody soon, I'll blow up into smithereens." And this is my someone's got to go to prison. Like if I can't find someone to respect my authority, somebody has to go to prison so I can get that point across.
I'm
I was
I'm
really proud of this
obsessed.
one.
I'm obsessed with that one, and also I feel like I've accomplished turning you into a Sadusky hater based on this.
Oh, I was struggling. But
S
sure.
spoiler alert, I don't have one for Sadusky,
Oh, okay.
which is
Interesting.
a
Okay.
choice.
What is your next one then? It's not Sadusky.
No, it's not. It's for Mitch, actually, because I thought it important to give each of our key villains their due. My song for Mitch is "Maps" by Maroon 5.
Nice. Good song.
Part of this the jokey part of this is I needed to get Maroon 5 representation in there, as Maroon 5 is one of the only things besides National Treasure that you and I had in college, Emily.
Yeah, that we had in common in college? Yes, you're correct.
What did I say?
That you and I had in college.
Oh, well, that too. We did go to their concert together in college,
That is true.
and we did sing Payphone a lot.
We did.
And I really wanted to get Payphone as one of my songs just to surprise you, but I just couldn't make it work. So instead, we get Maps. Um, like I said, there was usually one line that stuck out to me, and that line for this song was, "So I'm following the map that leads to you." You
Mm,
know how much we've talked on this show about the one of the key differences between Ian and Mitch being the fact that Ian actually at least tries to solve the clues. Mitch doesn't. He just follows Ben around the world on the treasure hunt.
that is true. So he's following the map that leads to bed.
It precisely. Another tiny line here, tiny lyric, "Ain't nothing I can do" is part of the chorus. Um, again applied to Mitch. Why does he have to follow Ben around? Because he literally doesn't have the history skills. He can't solve the puzzles himself, which in retrospect is kind of weird because he does tell Abigail in that weird meeting that they have at the beginning of the movie that he's fascinated by Civil War history. So you'd think that he could contribute. Maybe he just chooses not to, but here we are. Okay, my last lyric here. This one is a little bit more of a stretch, but I do like it. It reads, "'Cause something strange has come over me and now I can't get over you." And obviously in the song, this is more of like a romantic thing. For me, interpreting this song based on Mitch, I think about how Mitch targeted Ben, um, and really had to obsess over Ben enough to learn enough about him that he can find a strategic way to get Ben in on the hunt and then like get him to follow through all the way till the end, including when, like, Ben probably could have continued on his own. They're gonna continue, working together based on what Mitch said the rationale that Mitch delivers as to why he needs to be part of this. He gives that rationale based on knowing who Ben is and how Ben operates. So, that's my last
Mm.
little bit.
I feel like that one got deep at the end there.
You know me, I can't be all funny. I can't be everything. Jeez.
Well, don't worry. I'll be funny. It is my role here. Um, my
Yeah,
next song.
I was
What?
just gonna say, I feel like you should be mad at me for stealing your thunder tonight, so
Oh, well, you just got serious, so I'm gonna be funny right
okay,
now.
fine. 3rd song, go.
So my third song is Vampire Diaries by MGK. And my connection to this is Riley. But in my mind, this is Riley prior to meeting Ben.
Okay, I don't think I know this song, so I'm gonna need some lyrics to support this.
Okay. So the first one I chose is I swear the life I live's so boring. There's mention of Riley, previously working at a desk job in a cubicle. And so I feel like he, even though he talks a big game about like he wants to go back, I do feel like he was probably really bored of his day job.
It's like you read my book. I
Oh,
agree with
really?
you. Oh, yeah?
Okay. I haven't read it yet.
Okay, what else you got?
And just walking in the daylight is something I've never done. Literally if he's in a corporate job, LOL. Um, But also, like, he probably hasn't experienced very much adventure in his life. I can see him
Mhm.
being the kind that's just kind of like holed up in his cubicle, in some books, in a computer, not really like getting out there, you know?
Yeah. Again, it's like you've read my book.
I swear I haven't yet. I just understand Riley.
Well, that gives me confidence in knowing that I did a good character analysis of him, but go on.
And then my final line is there's so much I haven't seen. Don't let me rot inside this town. And this to me is basically like his plea to Ben of not letting him just kind of like wallow away and waste all of his time at his cubicle desk job. I doubt he actually said that to Ben, but,
Right.
so it was some creative interpretation here,
Huh?
but I'm glad to see that it matches,
I
the
I
analysis from your book.
I also like the real creativity you're putting in here. You're not just giving me a character, you're giving me a character at a specific moment in time.
Yes, I am, because I struggled.
I can't wait to debrief on that at the end here, like why it was so hard for both of us. Probably for different reasons. But
Mhm.
okay, my third song, this one I really liked. Thanks for the Memories by Fall Out Boy.
Mm. Okay. Who is this for?
Dr. Emily Appleton.
Ooh, Dr. Helen Mirren.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, go with me here. And I want these words to make things right, but it's the wrongs that make the words come to life. This is to me the argument between Patrick and Emily about the toothbrushes in Marrakesh, like all of their adversarial interactions before they reconcile in National Treasure 2. Um, like they obviously have a commonality in Ben and in history in general, but they can't get over these wrongs. Emily in particular can't seem to get over like what she saw as Patrick's wrongs or his flaws. Okay. My next one is the obvious line. This is why I picked the song. Thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so great. Um, this was the line when I was thinking Emily Appleton. Emily Appleton. What do we know about her? Mad at Patrick's. Thanks for the memories, even though there was like that's what happened in my brain. It's Emily's perspective on the marriage,
Yeah.
right? Like her line, someone had to grow up and take care of Ben.
Mm.
Are you seeing it?
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
can see it. I can hear it better yet.
Perfect. That's what I'm going for here. My last one is a little bit more forward looking in terms of the lyric. It's the line, "Been looking forward to the future, but my eyesight is going bad." It kind of makes me think of how she's gonna end up back with Patrick. She has this anger towards him, but it's gonna dissipate for better or for worse. So it's like her eyesight being how she remembers the past. It's going bad because she's gonna get back together with him. As of Edge of History, they're married again.
Yeah, okay, okay. I thought you were gonna say eyesight going bad because she's getting old, and I was like, "Jeez."
I'm not that literal. No, again, I have to give you at least one hard hitting bullet every time, or try to.
I mean, that whole one fell deep.
Okay, and it's like one of the most to me, that's one of the most timeless songs from our youth, and I still love it. So
It's a
I was
great song.
happy to use it. All right, Em, you ready for number 4?
I am. I also consider mine a timeless song from our youth, but I don't know if you'd agree. My next song is Pompeii by Bastille.
I love this song.
Yeah, same. And, coincidentally enough, I also, used Emily, but for this song.
Talk to me. I'm excited.
So I chose the first lyric that really stuck out to me, was "Many days fell away with nothing to show." So basically this idea that, like, they spent apparently a good deal of their dating life slash marriage looking for this treasure and nothing came of it while she was involved in it.
Mhm.
Um, and then kind of like you said, you had one lyric that like
Uh-huh.
cemented it for you. This is the one that cemented it for me. And the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. To me, this was Patrick and Emily's relationship kind of crumbling around them.
It's not literally Cibola crumbling around them as they
No, it's not. It's their
See?
relationship because love story. Um, And then, honestly, kind of similar to you, I ended it slightly more positively with the lyric, "But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all?" Which to me is like when they work together again, they kind of fall right back into old habits. Why
I'm
why are
obsessed.
you fanning yourself?
I'm obsessed. This is so
Oh,
good.
Thank you. I really like this song, and so I wanted to try to get it in there. Um, and at first I was thinking literally, and then was like, actually, let's do
What okay,
Emily.
real talk, why are our Emily picks so good when, if we're being honest, her as a character is so minor?
I think because they are related to a love story,
And
and a
those
lot of
songs,
songs are written along those lines.
that's something that made this really hard.
Same.
God,
Okay, what's your
okay.
next one?
Alright, this is one I don't feel strongly about it, but it is very literal, and I think it's kind of funny, and it's also the only thing I could think of. This is for Patrick. The song is "9 to 5" by Dolly Parton.
Not for Riley?
No, because he left that life, man. You know who didn't? Patrick, right?
True.
My notes here for myself, under key lyrics, I wrote, "Literally the whole song" in caps lock.
I mean, I don't know many lyrics from the song except the main one.
Same here, friend. I've never listened to this song in full before. All I know is the one line. But then went and read the lyrics, and I was like, oh, wow, literally the whole song. So the two that I'll pick out is first the obvious one, working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Um, it's Patrick's comment about having a job and health insurance and being the family kook as the result. Like, this is his one big character trait when we meet him. And frankly, lest we forget, this is his perspective the whole movie until the very end in National Treasure 1.
Hmm. And let's be honest, he's a little bitter about it too. And I feel like this
Yeah.
line in the song is meant to be a little bitter.
Yep, 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 yep.
Okay.
Um,
Nice.
and what I like even more about this song, y'all probably know that John Voight, the person who plays Patrick, has very strong, like, political stances that I just feel like go against everything Dolly Parton stands for and also the entire lyrical composition of this song, so I also found that funny. But the other lyric that I pulled out here is, "But you've got dreams he'll never take away." Apparently in the song, this is about, like, a boss man,
Hmm.
um, but, you know, even though this is Patrick for the whole 3 quarters, 4/5 of the first movie, he still has a tiny bit of Templar treasure hope in him. Right? If not by the end of National Treasure, although he was pretty astounded when they finally got to the treasure, certainly he has it by National Treasure too. And even if we go back to earlier this very season, we talked about the alternate ending where the characters are just like walking through the National Archives. Patrick is the one in that other conception of the ending who's like, there's this treasure that was lost off the coast of the Gulf of Mexico and blah, blah. So, like, he's still got these treasure dreams.
Mm. Okay. That once again, like I was expecting to be super literal, and then we got like deep again. So
Yes.
good job.
Thank you. You know what? I didn't even think of it that way, but I will happily take it. Emily, what is your fifth song proposition?
So you honestly might not know this one either, but I feel like other people will. You're just not a
Okay.
Broadway person. Um, this is the song I chose is "Proud of Your Boy." It's from Aladdin on Broadway.
Yeah, I don't know it.
It's a song Aladdin sings. Surprise. My National Treasure connection for this, I did Ben again, but Ernest Ben. And so you made a comment or a couple songs back maybe about Emily making a comment about like somebody had to grow up and like raise
Mhm.
Ben and stuff, right? And so think trying to put yourself into that perspective in Ben's eyes, right? Think like his mom gave this up to take care of him and now he is pursuing this. His mom's probably not happy with him. And so the
Mhm.
lyrics that I picked out were I'm going to become somebody because this is literally just like Ben's pursuit of the treasure, right? He's telling his mom like I'm going to do something with this.
Mhm.
Um and also to the community, to be quite frank, to the
Right.
entire treasure hunting community.
Right.
And then I also chose I've wasted time, I've wasted me, so say I'm slow for my age, a late bloomer, okay, I agree. And now I don't know that Ben 100% would agree all the time with this perception of himself, but in the moments when he feels like giving up on the treasure hunt, which I'm sure he has experienced a few times, even quietly in his life, I feel like these lyrics probably applied to him and the way that he at least thought about his parents in these moments. Like, I'm slow for my age. Like, I'm not doing what a normal adult should be doing. I haven't gotten it together by now. I've wasted time on this.
Imma help you out for a second. In line with your vibe of, like, picking a character at a specific moment in time, think about Ben at the very end in the pre-treasure room when he actually thinks he's failed.
Yeah, I was thinking there's probably not enough time for this song to be going through his head in that moment, but yes, I had thought of that as well.
I mean, you know. Okay. You ready for my 5th one?
Yes.
Good Girls Go Bad by Cobra Starship featuring Leighton Meester.
Only thing I know about this is that Leighton Meester is married to Adam Brody.
That is true. You've heard this song because I played it in our dorm room plenty. You just probably don't recognize the title. For me, this is Abigail and specifically like the Ben Abigail dynamic.
Mm.
So, some lyrics I pulled out. I know your type, boy, you're dangerous. So, this is, Ben being a treasure hunter. She clocks it immediately in that initial meeting in the National Archives in her office. "You're treasure hunters, aren't you?" And she kind of has that, like, twinkle in her eye, right? Like, she knows this is not something that she should be engaging with. You see it, "Nice to meet you too," as she stares at them as they walk out the door. There's the intrigue there, we've talked about it before. So that's the initial point. Then we go on to the next lyric. "Yeah, you're that guy I'd be stupid to trust, but just one night couldn't be so wrong, you make me wanna lose control." Um to me, this screams the Gala night, right? It's literally one night, right? The gala.
True.
And then he pulls her in to the hunt by piquing her curiosity, romantic or otherwise. In this case, it's like very historical treasure hunt. She goes along with the lemons on the back of the declaration against every right fiber of her being. She knows
Yeah.
she should not do this. She says, "I'm so getting fired for this." She does it anyway, and that represents her like losing control. And then, of course, the final line here, "I make them good girls go bad." She joins the hunt. She, for all she knows, is sacrificing her career only by the grace of God and Ben telling Sadusky not to let it happen. Does she not lose her job? So
Wow. I am no spoilers here, but I guess kind of spoilers. I'm surprised that you picked the like semi relationshipy song, like
dude,
romantic
all
y.
so many of these songs that I picked are relationshipy. They're just not the Dolly Parton one. I've just been
But
interpreting
you
them.
made it relationshipy for Ben and Abigail here.
I don't see it. I see it as yes, their relationship, but not necessarily a romantic relationship.
Okay, well that's how I took it, so maybe I'm turning it that way. It's good
Number
though.
6. Let's do number 6. Let's okay. You haven't done Abigail yet. Are you gonna do Abigail?
Yeah, actually that's my number 6 song.
Okay, let's do it.
Um so this song was The Man by Taylor Swift.
Okay.
I don't love all of Taylor Swift's songs, but this is one that I really like.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so, thinking about Abigail being, a woman with an advanced degree in a primarily male dominated field and the way
Uh-huh.
she's treated in this film, I thought some of
Yeah.
the lyrics were appropriate. So, what I was wearing, if I was rude, could all be separated from my good ideas and power moves, literally to Riley. Right? Because
Okay.
Riley makes the comment about, like, "Oh, she sounds hot," like, "Oh,
Yeah.
mean," and that kinda stuff, when
Yep.
in reality, she's, like, doing her job.
Yep. 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 Good point. Yeah, I like it.
This one's a little less serious. I would be complex. This is Abigail to the writers, um, of the film
Because they don't give
because
her
they didn't
anything?
really give her much. She's not the most complex character we have, but here we are.
That's funny. Okay, you got another?
Yeah, last one is they'd say I hustled, put in the work. They wouldn't shake their heads and question how much of this I deserve. This is honestly speculation on my part, but you and I have both been through the process of getting our doctorates. We know Abigail felt like this through her
Mm.
studies and probably in her career as well. So I felt like it was just very relevant.
Again, I'll help you out here. I also think about the end of the first movie. She doesn't lose her job, but she's not getting credit for the treasure find.
Very true. Very true.
I mean, she wasn't
Uh,
involved in it for decades, but she participated at the
yeah,
end. I don't
yeah.
know.
Semantics.
Semantics, right? All
What's your
right.
number 6 song?
My 6 is for Riley. It is Hall of Fame by The Script. This was another song that was very, like, in the ether during our college, so much so that shout out to Brenna. Brenna and I would go to Baumburger to study, and we would blare this song on the speakers in the room, when we were studying for finals specifically. Okay, I love this song to this day. Standing in the Hall of Fame and the world's gonna know your name 'cause you burn with the brightest flame. So that's my first lyric. Fame is one of Riley's goals, right? The obvious goal is the money. We talk about that way more, but he did write a book in between the first and second movie and is markedly disappointed when that isn't doing well. That book isn't doing well, right? And he almost takes offense and is insulted when people mistake him for Ben because he wants to be the one. He wants the name recognition, right? He also now, according to Edge of History, has a podcast and now will be on a television show. So he clearly has some fame motives here. The next lyric that I have is do it for your country, do it for your name, because there's going to be a day when you're standing in the Hall of Fame. To
Mm.
me, this line juxtaposes Ben's and Riley's reasons for the hunt,
What?
right? Like, Ben is doing it for do it for your country, although I would argue it's, like, for humanity, but, we gotta he's that
Himself a
half
little
of
bit.
I mean, yes, he wants to prove his family right, but if he wanted it for himself, he would keep the treasure. He gives it back, he's very adamant about that. Riley is do it for your name. Fun fact, I actually had a hard time knowing whether to make this Riley's song or Mitch's song,
I was thinking that, yeah.
which to me is interesting because we always compare Mitch and Ben. We never compare Mitch and Riley.
Future episode.
Yeah, perhaps. Um, my
You
last
be Team
li
Mitch, I'll be Team Riley.
I that would actually be really fun, I think. My last lyric for this is be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers. Um, I give the full line because I didn't want to just say be truth seekers, but to me it's the truth seekers part that stands out to me for Riley since he's into conspiracies. And illuminating that which might not be obvious to everyone. So that's it.
Hmm. Okay. I'm not as offended by that choice for Riley as I thought I was going to be. So,
Okay, well,
well done.
I'm really excited for you to go and listen to the songs, at least on my list that you haven't heard before, to see if if you feel strongly one way or the other, if you think it's a good fit or not.
There's
But
only one song
you
so
said
far.
two. Wait, do you know Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Oh, I
I'm
thought you
literally
didn't.
singing in my head.
Oh, okay, it's a good song. All right, we've come to our final two pitches. Is this like your best one, Em? Mine isn't my best one. I just feel like I had to end with Ben.
Yeah. No, this is, I think, my funniest one.
Ooh, okay. Let's do it.
Mm. So, this is for Ian,
Okay.
and the song I chose is You'll Be Back. This is sung by Jonathan Groff, who played King George in Hamilton on Broadway.
I love this
Uh,
song.
so first of all, British.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Um, Key lyrics. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. To
Amazing.
me, this is like Ian provided the finances and Ben just like left to do his own thing. Um, so Ian's kind of like, okay, well, we'll come
To be
back.
fair, Ian thought Ben was dead because he thought he killed him, but yes.
Okay. Um, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Uh,
Ah, the
in many
henchmen.
ways, we had an episode where we debated whether Ian and Ben were friends.
Mhm,
If we assume they are, that could be the remind you of my
mhm,
love. And
mhm,
Ian's goons do try to kill Ben
mhm,
on a few
mhm.
occasions. So Ian is sending his armed battalion. Um, and then you say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. Ian or Ben really isn't willing to do things Ian's way, like at all.
Mhm.
And that is both figuratively and literally the price for Ian's friendship and
Yeah.
cooperation. So there we go.
10 out of 10, no notes.
Thank you. What is your seventh pick?
Okay, so this is for Ben, Edge of Glory by Lady Gaga.
Nice.
It feels kind of obvious, but, like, it had to be done. Not that it shouldn't be done, it can't be done. Let me prove it to
Oh
you.
my
Sorry, I have a
gosh. Okay.
problem. Um, so this is I'll keep this brief because it should be pretty obvious. It's hot to feel the rush to brush the dangerous. Um, this is the lyric is about taking risks, and that is exactly Ben's MO, right? He is not afraid to steal the Declaration, to kidnap the president, right? In fact, it seems to energize him in some ways. He seems to be at his best when he's planning some complicated heist. Next lyric. I'm on the edge of glory and I'm hanging on a moment of truth. You know,
Mm.
when we approach him at the beginning of the first National Treasure, he has been presumably searching his whole life for this. His ancestors had been searching their whole lives for this. He is very close to finding the treasure. And all he has to do is to succeed now is solve the final puzzles. That's the moment of truth. Is he going to be able to solve those puzzles? Again, in retrospect, little weird that it took him 40 years to find the first treasure, and the second treasure he's presented with takes about a week. But
Pacing.
ag again, semantics, right? Um, and then I'm gonna end on a funny one. I'm on the edge with you. Come on, Ben and Abigail's near-death experiences in the Parkington Lane pit.
Oh my gosh.
They're
That
literally
is
on the
great.
edge.
But on the edge with you and Ben and Abigail, Aubrey here pulling out another romantic moment. What?
Okay, to be clear, I'm not talking about on the edge of a relationship. I'm talking about they're literally hanging off the edge of a platform.
Right, but they were hanging off while holding on to each other with you.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. That was our 14 song pitch. I need to know what you think. However, before we conclude, we need to know your ideas for this playlist. Emily, I manage our social media. You've never seen these before. Are you excited?
I am very excited.
Okay. As a reminder, y'all submitted this on Instagram. So if you don't like any of these, don't come at us, come at each other. Um
Oh my gosh, don't come at each other.
Uh, okay, the first one here is by Mia, and Mia recommended Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, and she specifically called out Metallica's collaboration with the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra as the version of this song. Emily, had not heard this song before, so I pulled some lyrics. Do you know this song?
I do not know this song.
Okay. I'm going to read some lyrics for you that stood out to me. Couldn't be much more from the heart, forever trusting who we are and nothing else matters.
Mm.
Another one is open mind for a different view and nothing else matters. And finally, never cared for what they say, never cared for games they play.
I mean, that sounds like Ben. Yeah, I'd buy that.
Mhm. I think it shows the heart, the passion, the dedication, right, for Ben and his family in terms of the treasure hunt, and also the whole open mind for a different view, just like the fact that, again, no one else believes in this, and it's almost like finding the treasure is the only way to get the public to have an open mind about the treasure existing, you know?
True, yeah. I like that one. Good job, Mia.
All right, Mike, this is your suggestion. You suggested Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin, and you capitalized stare. I wonder if I can figure out why.
Mike, I love it. I love it. No notes.
For the record, for those of you who aren't as deep in the Parkington Lane pit as Mike is, Riley and his obsession, not obsession, but like he cries when he sees stairs in the pit and the
Because he's
treasure.
deep in Parkington Lane.
Literally. Okay, nicely done, Mike. Next, we have Anna. Anna has two songs for us here: Stayin' Alive by the Bee Gees and the John Adams theme song for the HBO show. The like HBO show John Adams.
Okay. I mean, that's valid. Staying alive, surviving. I mean,
Mhm.
water's coming for us all someday. So,
The debt that all men pay is water, apparently, not death.
yeah.
Um, no, yeah, I agree. Especially when you talk about all the goons coming after Ben, right? Okay. Caitlin. Caitlin, you have a list for us, and we're gonna go through each one in turn, okay? The first one you shared is Getaway Car by Taylor Swift.
Okay. Ha Do you know this song? I feel like you do not.
I am famously not a Taylor Swift fan. I pulled some lyrics, but I don't know the song. I'll let you respond first since you actually know the song.
I don't know the song very well. I can hear the getaway car part of it. That's all I
Okay.
know.
Well, the lyrics that I pulled as potentially relevant are "No, nothing good starts in a getaway car." Then "It was the best of times, the worst of crimes." And then "The ties were black, the lies were white, in shades of gray and candlelight."
Snaps. That's great. Yeah, I mean, the Archives Gala, kidnapping the president in the film, um, crimes, once again, in the film.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. I really liked the "ties were black, lies were white" thing because specifically of the gala and the president's birthday party, like, they're both black tie affairs and massive shenanigans, some might call them lies, are happening in these contexts. Ben is lying to Abigail and the president respectively, for sure.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, we got another Taylor Swift song here, "Mastermind."
Don't know this one.
Alright, let's talk lyrics. "What if I told you none of it was accidental, and the first night that you saw me, nothing was gonna stop me? I laid the groundwork, and then just like clockwork, the dominoes cascaded in a line." I read this and I was like, Ben's interaction with Abigail in the gala slash the whole gala heist.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Do you have another one?
I do. "No one wanted to play with me as a little kid, so I've been scheming like a criminal ever since." I could kinda see this describing Ben and his pursuit of the Templar treasure. It could be as a kid, it could just be in his adult life. He doesn't strike me as the person who has a lot of friends, as evidenced by we don't meet any, and, like, the
Mm.
nature of his apartment, the state that his apartment is in, etcetera, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, he did have to kind of be a mastermind to pull off these heists.
Touche. I fully agree. Alright, the next recommendation we have by Caitlin is "Oops, I Did It Again" by Britney Spears.
As in, like, he kidnapped the president.
After stealing the Declaration of Independence, that's how I take it.
I love that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
I do too. And her last one is "Gold Digger" by Kanye West. And I was just like, "This has gotta be about Riley, right?" Like,
Or is it about Cibola, City of Gold?
the fact they have to dig out the gold, literally.
Yeah, they literally have to go underground for Cibola, Aubrey, famously.
Okay, fine. I like it better about Riley, but I know you'd be offended by that. Let's move on. We have 2 more people who submitted suggestions here. First, we have John. John recommended 2 Steps from Hell. I did not recognize this song, so I Googled it, and I was like, "This isn't a song." So this is apparently a musical duo that writes music for movie trailers, and their sound is do you look like you recognize something. Does that sound familiar?
It it's like it's not lyrical really, it's, like, instrumental more type stuff. Because I think I've seen this name before, yeah.
So their sound is self-described as bombastic and characterized by ancient chants, and their song titles include the likes of Heart of Courage, which just on name alone sounds like Ben to me.
Yeah. I could hear this going with, like, the epicness of kind of that, like,
Yeah.
treasure hunt or any of the chase scenes, honestly.
Yeah. So I think for this one, for our playlist, you should add the Heart of Courage one, unless you find a different song by Two Steps from Hell that you wanna add in, and then, like, discretion. Use your discretion,
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I will.
Our last set of songs is submitted by Amber. She has 5 for us here. You ready? The
Mm.
first one's gonna sound pretty familiar. She said for Abigail, "The Man" by Taylor Swift.
Yes, Amber, thank you!
Mhm, mhm.
Not the only
Yeah.
one.
And so as I was you picked out some lyrics, some of the ones that I was reading were I picked a little different. So for example, "I'm so sick of running as fast as I can, wondering if I'd get there quicker if I was a man." And I compare that to, like, Ben and his treasure hunting prowess, but actually more so to Stan as her
Because he's
boss.
technically her yeah.
Yeah. Okay. For this next one, Amber envisions this song for Riley specifically because she can see him jamming out to it, maybe even in his red Ferrari. I added that part. This is Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield, and I kinda love it.
I love that for Riley. I could also see him jamming out to it as he's, like, writing his book.
Ooh, oh, yeah, I like that a lot. Huh?
That's a great one. That's
I see
fantastic.
he feels like someone who thinks he's, like, the reality star in his own life kind of vibe, and so he probably walks down the street, like, singing like, there's a soundtrack to him walking down the
There's, like
street, and it's
yeah,
this.
like, pretending he's in a music video, basically.
Totally, 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 and I fully buy this, so thank you for the suggestion. The 3rd song, I also really liked this one. This is a Taylor Swift song that I know. "Look What You Made Me Do." She said for Ben.
Okay, I don't know this song, but I can guess based on the
Um
name.
Well, as Taylor Swift is wont to do, especially for her long song titles, the song title is the main lyric. So she goes,
Makes sense.
"Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what," like, but, like, so funny for Ben.
Yeah.
"Look what you made
Look
me do.
what
You made."
Ian made him do.
He had to steal the Declaration he had to kidnap the president of the United States because Mitch got him on this crazy treasure hunt. I love
These
this one.
villains.
Yep, yep. Alright, we got 2 more Taylor Swift songs here. One is for Ian, "I Did Something Bad." Do you know that song?
I do not,
Okay.
but
Lyrics I p lyrics I pulled include, "'Cause for every lie I tell them, they tell me 3. Then they say I did something bad, then why does it feel so good? Then you gotta leave before you get left." And so the first 2 lyrics for me really just connote, like, for example, the lies stuff. There's a huge thing about Ben and Ian being able to lie to each other or not, right? For the second one, it's just kinda obvious. He's the villain. He likes doing bad things. It's right in line with his personality, let's be honest. But the last one, "You gotta leave before you get left," is literally about abandoning Ben in the Charlotte. And then he abandons Shaw in Parkington Lane, doesn't even try to help him.
oh, that's true. Okay, what's the last one?
I left my favorite one of Amber's for last because I thought it was funny. This is for Patrick, and specifically, according to Amber, this is the moment when Patrick first finds out that Ben stole the Declaration of Independence. Amber thinks of the Taylor Swift song, "This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things."
I've never heard of that song, but totally accurate for that moment just
It's all
based
you
on the
need.
title.
It's all you need. So
Well done,
funny.
y'all.
You guys
Great song
knocked it
choices.
knocked it out of the park. Thank you so much for playing along. We hope you enjoyed hearing your picks on the show. If we misinterpreted any of your picks in terms of why we think you chose them, feel free to let us know. We will share them online. But
Yes.
before we wrap, let's do a quick reflection. Emily, this is way harder for both of us than we thought it would be. Why?
I mean, multifaceted for me. One was because I do listen to songs with words, but a lot of the songs I listen to are instrumental, and I knew that that was not necessarily the vibe that you were
Mhm.
going for with this
Thank you.
episode.
Uh-huh.
Two, I wanted to do my best to choose songs that more people would be familiar with. Um, which meant that all of the songs that I was immediately going to were not like didn't fit that category.
Mhm.
Thirdly,
Wow.
I yeah, there are a lot of reasons. Um, thirdly, a lot of the songs were about either like relationships gone
Mhm.
bad, or like people going through it. And that didn't feel like really any of these characters' vibes. And then finally, I tried super, super hard to pick songs that did not have curse words in it because we make an effort on the pod to not curse. And a lot of the songs, apparently, that I listen to have curse words in them or are rated as explicit, which honestly, just a good exercise for me in preparing for when Haley can understand words.
Touche. Wow, you gave a lot of thought to why. I appreciate it. And also, we all owe Emily a round of applause for thinking of our listeners in advance and hoping that they can relate to this episode through her picks. So I think she did a great
Mhm.
job.
Thank you.
Um, I definitely relate to the fact that like a lot more songs are about love and relationships than I realize, which is dumb, but like that made it hard to find relevant lyrics that was more than one lyric. But speaking of the one lyric thing, I mentioned this a couple times. For me, I would think of a character and my brain would be like, what is the defining trait that we know about this character? And then I would get one lyric from a song stuck in my head. And
Mm.
then I could think of nothing else. And it made me paranoid because I was like, is this the best pick or is this just the first thing that's coming to mind? And most of the time I had to go with it because I literally could not think of anything else. Um, I also, you guys, I don't listen to music anymore, literally at all. Um, I so, like, that's part of the reason why most of my songs are from the era of music that I did really enjoy, which was, like, when we were in high school and college. So,
Mm.
um, my personal favorite character that we jointly landed on songs for is still Emily, which shocks me.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It
Although
was
I have to say, I'm really thrilled with my Ian song. As soon as I was scrolling through my list of songs, and as soon as I came to that one, I was like,
there it is.
"Yep."
So, you guys, Emily's assignment, in addition to editing this episode, is making the Spotify playlist that we created with you today. And we will share the link to that playlist on social media. And even my hope is the show notes to this episode. Feel free to listen, feel free to share with your friends. And you also have a little assignment from us. Number one, obviously, send us what songs you think are missing from the playlist and why. If we like your reasons enough, maybe we'll add them, right?
Never know.
And number two, I need to know, should we make a playlist for Edge of History? Should we do this exercise for the TV show? I want to know if you want to hear that. basically.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so hard.
I like, yeah, yeah. Um, okay.
But yes, please do let us know. You can find us on social media, both X and Instagram at NT Hunt Podcast, our website, nthuntpodcast.com. And before you exit out of your podcasting app, please leave us a rating or review, end review. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, please go ahead and make sure that you subscribe. And also, like, thumbs up, leave a little comment, something like that. We appreciate all the support.
The next episode of our show coming your way, you guys, is episode 115. I promise we have an NTIRL coming soon. We've actually been prepping it for a while, but we're trying to create a schedule that has the flexibility that it needs to be able to handle surprises. So,
Yes.
NTIRL is coming soon. Next episode, we have episode 115, and that will be a historical deep dive on the USS Kidd, which features in Edge of History. But we liked our USS Intrepid episode so much that we had to assess its analog.
Yay!
Well, Emily's like, I don't know what you're talking about. What is the USS Kidd? What is Edge of History? She doesn't even know. Uh, so until next time, you guys, I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Emily.
And thank you so much for joining us on our National Treasure Hunt.